I hope you're ready for another story because today I'm going to tell you about the failed food fight attempt that happened to me back in high school. Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing good today. Now, something that was very frequent back when I was in high school was that I remember the students would always try to plan these things, and it was always, I think, through the use of Twitter. It's like several times, throughout the years that I was there, they would come up with this thing, start spreading it around on Twitter, and plan to have it go down at this time on this day. One thing that I remember was that they wanted to try to start a food fight. Now, hear me out on this. Now, throughout my years of elementary school, middle school, and high school, there seems to have always been a common factor between all of the kids. And that was everyone's love to mimic the things that they saw off of television. Television, movies, music videos, the internet, anything and everything. I think that's just people. I think that's just a good chunk of just people, but mostly in kids. I have to say it was more intense back in elementary school. Those kids were trying real hard. That's more stories later. But yeah, I'm assuming just because they had this idea of what a food fight was and they wanted to try it out. Now, of course, what we normally see on television and stuff like that is that when there's a food fight, you got the kid, I don't know, the way it starts is kind of irrelevant, but you've always got a kid who yells, "Food fight!" and then everybody starts throwing food, having fun, having a good time. It's technically / basically anarchy because the teachers and the faculty can't really do much to stop it. So I don't know. I believe that's what the vision was intended for when people said they wanted to do this. Now, my lunch periods back in high school, I believe there were 4 of them. I believe it was like A lunch, B lunch, C lunch, and D lunch. I can't quite remember, but I think that's what it was. And lo and behold, they were going to have this food fight during my lunch period. Now, I want you to look at things on my perspective, okay? One thing that I really disliked often about when I was in school was literally being caught in the middle of nonsense that I was unable to get out of. For the most part, you were not allowed to eat lunch in any other place that wasn't the cafeteria. Simply because, once your class lets out, you currently do not have another class, so you are scheduled to go to your lunch period. So the only real way that a person would be able to eat lunch in another location is if they knew another teacher and got their permission to eat during their class, which was more often than not unlikely. So even though I knew that this food fight was going to happen in my period, I could do nothing to stop or avoid it. I was going to be in this room filled with people throwing food all over the place, and I couldn't do anything about it because I believe that that was another thing that I remember. The staff and the faculty that was inside the lunchroom, they actually would not allow people to leave unless they were going to the restroom, and I believe that you had to be back into the lunchroom at a certain time period. Whether or not they actually kept that time period, was irrelevant, but all I knew was that come lunchtime, I'm sitting there, and you feel the tension in the air. Everyone is anticipating what's about to happen. People are they got their trays, everybody's looking around, cause nobody knows. It's they know what's about to happen, but they don't know how it's gonna happen, or when it's gonna happen, or even really what to expect. Like I said, in everybody else's mind, this is just gonna be a fun little messy activity. Let me tell you what happened. I believe the lunch periods lasted for maybe about 30 or 45 minutes total. I think that no one did anything, for the first 30 minutes or so. I think people were that scared and that on edge that people were basically just too afraid to make a move. I think it was when the faculty said that the lunch period was gonna be over in like the next 5 minutes, that was when people were like, oh, okay, we gotta do something. Like you could feel it. It was all over the cafeteria. And then you heard it. One brave soul stood up and at the top of his lungs shouted, food, food! But the most hilarious part was that when the boy shouted that, everybody stood up and they actually grabbed their food, like they had it in hand. Some people actually threw something, like 1 or 2 people, but everybody froze. It was in that moment that everybody understood the same thing. Ain't nobody wanted to get dirty. That is the one thing that is never really shown or explored that I think in like television food fights and like movies and stuff like that. It's the mess that is actually made. They always make it seem like that the kids are having fun, throwing stuff, getting dirty and whatnot, but that is not the case in real life. I'll tell you what the case is in real life. In reality, when you are having a food fight, you don't have a change of clothes. If your stuff gets dirty or if it gets hit with like condiments like mustard or ketchup, if you get like juice thrown on you, your clothes are ruined for the rest of the day. And let's not forget, your clothes, more than likely, you're not going to be the only thing that's going to get hit. It's going to be your hair, it's going to be your glasses, it's going to be your shoes. Like, nobody wanted to get dirty. So when everybody stood up and had their food items in their hand, everybody froze. Because like it was almost like a bomb that was supposed to go off, but it was a dud. And it's like, what was hilarious is that everybody started laughing because, like I said, we all knew. Like, even the teachers, they were like, hey, everybody sit down. Like, and people were too scared. Like, we didn't want to do it because, like, another thing is that we wore uniforms in our school, and it's like our uniform clothes were basically a white shirt and like gray bottoms. So no matter what, if anything got on you, your white clothes were gonna be stained and filthy and gross. Like I said, for the rest of the day, you have to like I said, be in class, like looking like that, smelling like that. Like, you have to be on the bus, you have to walk around in that, and sometimes you have like some people probably had like PE like in the next class. So if they didn't have like a gym uniform, they would have to be wearing that. Nobody wanted to get filthy. So in the end, everybody just gave up. Like, people just ate their, like, finished off their food. They threw their food away. I will say this though, I do remember seeing this one girl. It was her friend. It was a girl and her friend. Her friend was in the middle of actually trying to take some food that got in her hair. Remember, like I said, those 1 or 2, like those few people that actually threw something? Apparently it got the girl. So like her friend is there like trying to like get stuff out of her hair. And I saw like it was kind of like on her shirt too. But like I said, like nobody wanted to end up like that poor girl. So yeah, that's basically it. That is what happens when kids try to mimic the stuff that they do on TV. It is on television for a reason. In the future, I may actually have more stories to tell you of events like that happening. Like I said, basically a kid trying to copy stuff that they saw off of television. Like I said, for me, it was a lot more prevalent in elementary school. It was semi-prevalent in middle school, and it was a pretty decent chunk of it, excuse me, in high school. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when my videos are going up. And you can show your support by donating in the links below. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.